Holy man, what a bizarre day, guys. Now, I've been in the stock market for well over 10 years here, and I've seen some pretty bizarre stuff, but I think today is one of the most bizarre days that I ever experienced. Tesla was basically cruising along during the day around 343, somewhere around there, and it started actually spiking pretty good because we had some news on basically that Saudi Arabian a wealth fund is basically taking a $2 billion stake, and that's huge. As we all know, that Saudi Arabia is diversifying. They're looking at ways to diversify away from just being in crude oil. And that's not too surprising or anything like that. But it was definitely a good driver of the stock. Then I ended up looking at Tesla for a while here, um, and it basically just spiked. Now, to rewind a little bit here, I made a video not too long ago on why I thought you should buy Tesla, and hopefully you heeded my advice. I'll put a link in the right hand corner to that right now. It's going to pop up there. But basically, I said it was good for a short term gain. And then not too long after that, it went down quite a bit. But I've been holding because, like I explained in the video, it's the hype around the stock. It's gonna go up, right? So then it just spiked. I mean, it was up 6% or so. I'm looking at what's going on, and then basically I find out that Elon, he's tweeting again. And if you haven't heard already, this was the tweet that I saw right here. I'm considering taking Tesla private at $420 a share, funding secured. And I thought this was just a joke. I mean, Elon, he's been pretty irrational lately. And I thought to myself, this has got to be fake. This has got to be something. Nobody knew what was going on. The stock was skyrocketing. And it was really quite exciting, but just bizarre. And then we find out that actually it's true, right? And he's basically tweeting even more, answering. He's basically saying he's hoping that everyone can remain investors when it goes private. Shareholders can sell at 420. No forced sales. So, and he basically says that it's contingent on shareholder vote, which obviously it should at a public corporation. And then there was actually this note that came out where he basically outlines why he, as you probably know from him, he's been a little bit on the rails lately, a little bit on the edge. So he's been under a lot of pressure, as he should be. As I've stated in some of my older videos, I don't think Tesla's going to do very well long term. I don't think that they can be profitable, but maybe they are or not. It's kind of dubious that now they're going private, and we won't ever have to see any of their financials, because I think there might be some funny financials going on there, non-GAAP earnings and whatnot. But that's irrelevant to the situation. So he basically explains that he wants to focus on the company. He's got funding. He $420 per share. So that's a 20% premium over the Q2 earnings, which was already increased by 16. So if you had bought, I think I made that video on July 1st. Wow, you would have made a nice little gain today. And then basically, like I said, it's a proposed vote of shareholders here. So I took this as very positive news. Obviously, the market took that as well. So the question is, what do you do here? Like, what's your move forward? Now, I don't like holding companies that are private. I like holding public corporations. My knowledge is relatively limited on private corporations, but I've run into this many times before. And given what I'm seeing right now, I think the deal will probably go through, because I almost have a feeling that it's somehow related to the Saudis. I can see them trying to take over that. I don't know who would pay that much money for Tesla, but that's the case. We don't have any information on that right now. So even though we're seeing it down, after hours here, I really expect to see that this thing's going to go over 400. So basically, if it touches that 420, I'm going to get out. It might just spike even higher. I'm not too sure. But I think that the stock's got basically nowhere to go but up from here. I've already made a good little return on it because like I said, I held my shares. But that's my plan. Really, really amazing day. It's just kind of bizarre. Like, Elon's been really bizarre lately with the, taunting shorts and just kind of all this kind of behavior that's, in my opinion, unbecoming of a CEO. And then resulting that, like, he had this in his, back pocket the whole time. Just kind of amazing. So hopefully you guys bought in, like I said, and, got into this baby. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm holding. But I don't want to hold anything in the private corporation. He did say that he's obviously going to give investors the opportunity to hold in the private corporation, basically be able to sell every 6 months or so, some sort of liquidity there. don't understand what that's all about either. But that's where my head's at. Very curious what you guys think. Leave comments down below. Leave me a like. And don't forget to subscribe. And I will talk to you guys in the next one.